Okay, how's it going? Good afternoon, everybody. Sorry to make you sit through this again, but thanks for listening to my speech. Next slide, please. So, I'm going to lay out a scenario for you. An armed intruder enters your home late at night when you're by yourself, or accosts you while you're out by yourself late at night. What do you do? If the government continues to restrict and get stricter on firearms, there could be nothing you could do. But if we do become more lenient on the firearms law, especially the concealed carry law, you'd be better able to protect yourself with training with that firearm, and you'd be able to protect your property, your life, your family. We see it every day on social media and in the news. Car thefts, houses broken into, home invasions, even a murder a couple weeks ago in Foodland, Maui. Groups like Stolen Stuff Hawaii and Big Island Thieves really highlight these things and brings to light all the crime that goes on these islands. A good way to protect against this would be to repeal the ban on concealed carry here in Hawaii. Some problems are that anti-gun proponents propose stricter laws for firearms just recently, and all those laws would limit someone in their self-defense, according to an article in West Hawaii. Hawaii is one of the safest gun states in the 50 states. We have stricter laws and requirements to attain guns. Next slide. With Hawaii being one of the strictest states, what goes with that is a federal background check. You can't have any mental disorder, or you need to have medical clearance. You cannot have a drug addiction. There's a registration fee and a 14-day waiting period. For rifles, it is a 1-year permit that allows you to purchase as many guns, as many rifles as you can in that 1-year period. After the year is up, you need to renew. For pistols, a permit is only good for one pistol at a time. So for each new pistol you plan to buy, you need to get a new permit. Hawaii is ranked 50th in the U.S. for gun deaths and violence a year, at approximately 2.71 deaths a year, and 6th in the U.S. for the strictest firearm laws. What Hawaii needs to do is change itself from a may issue state to a shall issue state for conceal and carry. What you need to do for this is be NRA trained and certified. You also need to demonstrate a need, which would encompass danger to your life, family, and property. And then a concealed carry permit is only issued at the discretion of the police chief of his respective counties here in Hawaii. However, those permits are rarely issued, and rape and assault victims have been denied these permits. This is mostly because Hawaii does not want to practice reciprocity with other concealed carry states and recognize those permits here in Hawaii. They just don't want a lot of people concealing and carrying here in Hawaii. However, this restrictions on the concealed carry ban that allows some to conceal and carry and not everyone who's trained and certified is an infringement on your Second Amendment rights. So, what we need to do to help the decision come to where everyone who is trained and certified be able to conceal and carry is undergo firearms training and education, because education is the best step to preventing accidents and gun violence. There's no substitute for it. According to my interview with Carl Carlisle at White Shark Arms, who is an NRA certified instructor, gun owners should undergo annual training every year to refresh their skills and their knowledge about their guns. Also, with more education, perceptions and understandings change about firearms. Anti-gun people go through an education course and they come out with a changed idea of what the dangers firearms pose and how we can limit those dangers. If you own a gun, you need to educate yourself about it and the people in your home. You also need to keep that firearm secure at all times, on your person, in your car, in your home. And you need to have a healthy respect for firearms because, let's face it, it's a weapon. Also, what we need is more places for people to shoot. There's only 3 ranges on Hawaii Island, White Shark included, and not much is known if they plan to put up any more. According to a Civil Beat article in 2015, when Chicago repealed its unconstitutional concealed carry ban, robberies that led to arrest dropped by 20% from the previous year. Burglary and motor vehicle thefts also dropped another 20%. And the homicide rate, which was rising every year in Chicago, which was once known as the murder capital of the world, reached a 56-year low. So, I want you to think back to the scenario I laid out for you in the beginning. If the government places more restrictions on firearms, this won't stop criminals from illegally acquiring weapons, as demonstrated in England and Australia, it is illegal to own a gun there, but the criminals still have guns. There's still shootings, there's still murders with guns in these banned places. Crime could be on the rise when criminals know that regular citizens don't have the means necessary to protect themselves. If the concealed carry laws were relaxed and allowed for everyone who is certified and trained to carry, mass shootings like the one in Aurora, Colorado in July 2012, or the murder a couple weeks ago in April 2016 at Wailuku, Maui Foodland, would be less likely to happen or be prevented. The fact that regular citizens would be allowed to conceal and carry would act as a deterrent in itself, knowing that there are people who will be willing to step up and protect others because they're able to. Also, an armed civilian would be able to subdue an assailant until the proper authorities arrived. So, during this speech, I talked to you about changing some perceptions. Next slide, please. Yeah. Oh, yeah, sorry, one back. Sorry about that. But yeah. Also, I talked to you about changing perceptions associated with firearms and concealed carry, preserving your rights to protect yourself and your constitutional rights to conceal and carry. Being able to protect yourself is a fundamental right that everybody should exercise. Visiting a fire range and taking a firearm safety course is the best way to go about it. Educating your family and friends about firearms, educating yourself on how a firearm works and operates. And as always, practice makes perfect. There's no substitute for practice on your accuracy, your shooting, everything. What you could do also is sign this petition there at the link. Submit it and sign it and submit it. Share it with your friends and family. Also contact your local legislators and raise the issues with them about concealed carry and making everybody able to defend themselves. Next. So in conclusion, I shared with you some information that I feel concerns everyone here in Hawaii. The way I feel about the right to bear arms is best summed up by a quote by Ted Nugent. To my mind, it is wholly irresponsible to go into the world incapable of preventing violence, injury, crime, and death. How feeble it is, the mindset to accept defenselessness. How unnatural, how cheap, how cowardly, how pathetic. Plus, being able to shoot a firearm legally is extremely fun when you're doing it safely. You know what you're doing, and you understand the consequences. And that's all I have for you today, guys. Thanks a lot.
Bob?
That's not